Hello, and this is the 2025 Isuzu D-Max V-Cross Airby conversion. I'm Thomas, you're watching Cars at Glasgow, and a special thanks to Eaglesham Garage for loaning me this car for today's video. Now, the Isuzu D-Max is on its third generation. This is a second facelift model. You can kind of tell some of the tweaks up front. We do have this kind of dark chrome integrated into the front grille. It reminds me of like the Lexus F-Sport kind of trim pieces, which is quite nice. We do have the signature DRLs up front, which do turn into indicators when you turn them on. We also have air curtains on the side of the car, which go from the front bumper around the wheel to help with aerodynamics and hopefully fuel efficiency. But overall, not too much else has changed on the front end of this car. No 360 cameras or anything like this. We do have parking sensors, but overall, it's quite a handsome looking truck, but yeah, it does what it says on the tin. Under the bonnet, we have this 1.9 litre 4-cylinder diesel engine with about 164 PS, 360 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 60 is around 10.9 seconds for the 6-speed manual, and you're around 13 seconds if you go for the 6-speed automatic like this one is today. We do not get the 3 litre unlike other markets. This is the sole engine option currently, with maybe an EV1 in the pipeline, but at the moment this is the only option we have here in the UK. Underneath, we do have a little bit of sound deadening material, and this kind of surprised me, we do have a physical strut. So the D-Max is quite a large vehicle. You're looking at about 5.29 metres in length, about 1.86 metres in width without the wing mirrors included in that, and about 1.7 metres in height, again excluding the accessories, so it is quite a large vehicle. I guess you'd expect that from a pickup truck. It does have 2-wheel drive. At a touch of a button you are able to put it into 4-wheel drive, and it also has a rough terrain mode as well. It is worth mentioning all D-Maxes can carry a payload of 1 tonne and also tow 3.5 tonnes. This particular model is riding on 18-inch alloy wheels. You can see finished in this grey colour. We've got Dunlop AT25s, and the exact number is 265/60 R18s if you are curious about the tyres on this car. As you can see, fairly chunky and really ideal for going off-road off the beaten track, which is probably where you're going to take a pickup truck, never mind a camper van pickup truck. Round the rear, we do have a V-Cross sticker to remind everybody what Isuzu D-Max you have went for. Of course, we have the Isuzu D-Max badging on the bottom in chrome. And then we've got your camera located up here, big parking sensors, a step there as well if you want to reach inside there or reach on top, depending again the conversion that you have. On the rear, we do have taillights, which are kind of a series of these L shapes, obviously mirrored on each side, so it looks like an L from one side and it's kind of like a J on the other. Then you've got halogen bulbs for your indicator, a little bit of a light strip there. Not too much has changed on the rear, but really you're buying this for the payload, towing capacity, robustness, reliability, and just kind of the workhorse nature of this vehicle. Round the rear, we do have a handy big drawer that pulls out to store things like your deluxe awning for the alcove. We do have a fridge saddled in on top of that. It is powered by a battery pack, little bits of storage on the side, and this bit here is quite cool as well. We do have a kitchen with a sink, so you can obviously pull this up, get your gas burners going, a little bit of storage in there, a little basin with a little bit of drainage underneath. You can pull that through for your water, which is kind of handy if you want to wash your dishes when you're out camping. Kind of camping and luxury, and then you're good to go. Fold that away, pull this metal up like so, this spins round, and within a short period of time you're good to go again. And the split folding tailgate means life is a little bit easier to do things as well. Of course, you can get other conversions. This one just happens to be the ARB camper conversion. You join me in the back of the V-Cross. Now, 5'11" Thomas has got plenty of headroom. Footroom is all right as well. I'm wearing boots today for the rugged outdoor aesthetic, and yeah, got a bit of room under there. It's even carpeted underneath the seat. Wasn't expecting that in a pickup truck. We do have 2 mat pockets. They have got like a waterproof lining inside there. We do have this little hook here, which is rated for 4 kilograms according to the little number on the side of it. Mechanical door release, 1 electric window switch for each side, as well as a door bin big enough for a bottle of juice, something like that. Speakers on the roof, and then we've got the glass panel there, which is heated to separate the bed from the passenger compartment. There is seating for free, however the middle seat's probably more realistically a bench seat, just because transmission hump and maybe carrying a friend or a work colleague here for a short distance. But you're going to have the fans blowing straight into your area, and then you've got a USB charger right in the centre there. But this being the V-Cross, we do have this kind of smooth leather seats with ISOFIX points on the outer bits, and we've got cup holders here in the centre. Overall, it's not too bad place to be. We do have big grab handles on top as well as here, which is yeah, you can imagine doing something off-road terrain, whatever it may be, something to hold on to while your driver's scaring you to death. Anyway, let's check out up front. Now the D-Max is quite tall, so they do have this little step in this model to help you get in, or you can step in like that, but yeah, it is quite a step getting in and out of the vehicle. Alright, you join me in the front cabin of the D-Max V-Cross. Now everything in this car does feel a little bit more premium than you're expecting. It's not a luxury SUV by any standards, but it is a kind of a well-appointed pickup truck. I love the steering wheel in this car. I don't know what it is. It's under 500 miles on the clock, but the steering wheel just feels so buttery smooth in your hands. I've not been in a car like this in a good wee while. Just very satisfying to rub your fingers and hands over it. Top of the dash is flat and lined with kind of a soft touch material with white stitching. It helps with visibility. Same as the bonnet lines are kind of sculpted so you can see the corners of the car. We do have a little bit of storage on top of the dash, as well as a well placed hazard button, nice and central. The passenger does have not one but two glove boxes. It is lined with, so neither are lined, but it is filled with a huge girthy Isuzu owner's manual. Now if you like reading, then this could be the book for you, your next novel, because that is an impressive size for an owner's manual. Obviously this car's brand new, but look at the size of this, it's huge, so thick. So that fills there, so I'm glad you do have a secondary storage for actual items. Foot in the brake and start stop. And that engine comes to life. As you can see in the side here, we've got your things like your angles of the vehicle, your audio controls, phone settings, etc. You can touch in here and go through the various modes. If you want to see ADAS, electrical, if you want to turn things off like lane departure, speed warning, you can do that all at a touch of a button, and then go down here and you can see kind of your departure angle, etc. Which is handy for those off-road courses and tracks. And then you've got some buttons down here like hard key buttons, so again that's quite a good shortcut to get in and touch those buttons off. As you can see, it's pretty fast responsive. I like the fact you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capabilities. You can play your own music, etc. without worrying about it. And then your dual zone climate control lights up down here. You control things like your fan speed, you control direction of airflow, or you can hit dual and separate if your passenger wants to be 19 or 19.5, you can have that capability there. You've got your rough terrain mode there. You can push that button and it comes up on your gauge cluster. Heated seat button, 2-stage. Then we can pop it in for the reversing camera with trajectory lines. Nothing else super fancy about the camera, but at least we've got one. So the gauge cluster itself, as you can see, they've got the digital part there. You can cycle through things. We can see we're getting about 22 to a gallon, and you can cycle through other parts. As you can see, various modes that you might be interested in, but probably realistically you're going to leave it on something like a trip computer to see what MPG or whatever you're getting. Below the climate control, we do have a 12-volt power outlet, as well as USB-C chargers, and then your big button here you can twist for high and low range for your four-wheel drive when you leave it in too high for out in the road driving. Down below is a bit of storage, you can have a phone. I have seen other Isuzu D-Maxes with a wireless phone charger in here, so I guess that's where that would go. And then around the centre we do have some modes, so we have like hill descent control, that rough terrain mode, a button to lock out the rear, and then we have 2-stage heated seats, which is quite nice. It is covered in black gloss plastic. I'm just really not a fan of that material in cars. It looks great in the showroom fresh, but after a day or two it scratches up in fingerprints. Even if Isuzu put these like this grey trim piece in the centre there, just make life a bit better. This one's fitted with a 6-speed auto. You can get a 6-speed manual. Do have 2 cup holders there. It's not large enough for my big bottle of water because it starts and then it tapers down, so cans of juice or small 500 millilitres of water will fit. But we do have a centre armrest here, not lined with fuzzy stuff, it's just plastic, but I guess again that makes it durable and easy to live with. And then we do have a big mechanical physical handbrake, which is not something you seem to try very often. Now we do have an auto view dimming mirror, as well as a little lined fuzzy area for your sunglasses above, as well as your SOS button, sun visors with a little clip so you can maybe put a card, bits of paper, something like that, and a vanity mirror if you wanted to check yourself before you go out the vehicle. Alright, you join me behind the wheel of the Isuzu D-Max V-Cross AirB camper. Now, the first thing I want to point out is you do sit up high, kind of as you expect from a pickup truck. We do hear that diesel engine. It's a little bit agricultural. It reminds me a little bit of that Toyota Land Cruiser that we drove last year, just with the driving position, the big grab handles, the diesel engine, happy to make its engine noise known inside the cabin. Foot down, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40. There we go. So that's 6-speed automatic doing its best for the vehicle. Okay, you're not buying this car for the driving dynamic, shall we say, but it is a pretty comfortable ride considering all that weight on the vehicle, what we have going on. I think it does a good job of ironing out lumps and bumps, especially going over like the speed bumps and stuff in a residential area. I think it does a good job. Now, thank goodness I have turned off speed warning. I said I like the fact that Isuzu have made that nice and easy. Hit that car button, tap that button, 2 presses and you're good to go, which they've made it a little bit easier than some other manufacturers. I do quite like that engine noise. You know, it feels like there's almost no insulation between the bulkhead and the engine, but obviously there is because we've seen it. But that 1.9 litres definitely eager to let you know it's there. It's almost like a dog wanting its dinner, you know, it's letting you know at the other side of the door, like, I'm here, like making all those little noises in the background. Now, visibility is decent out front. Obviously in the rear I've got the truck bed with the canopy and loads of things in the back, so this particular car is not amazing on the rear view, but we do have nice big chunky mirrors with blind spot on them, which is again going to be ideal for avoiding things in a blind spot like rear cross traffic alert, etc. This car does have a whole host of safety systems fitted to it for 2025. Now, this vehicle will be designed for like duality of unpaving roads as well as like smooth tarmac that I'm on today. I'm not going to get the opportunity to take it off-road just because this is a demonstrator vehicle and yeah, it's not a press car, so we're not going to be taking it off-road. We want to do that to the garage when they're left trying to sell this. However, it does have various modes to take it off-road in Isuzu. I have had various launches taking journalists and that out to take it out and about off-road and enjoy the vehicle. And nature, I guess, is where you want to kind of show the robustness of this chassis. This car does have 8 speakers in it, which it sounds alright. You know, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. It does the job, and that in combination with the rest of the car, it feels alright. I'm not going to play anything in terms of music just because I don't want to get a copyright strike against me. However, I do like the fact, again, you can get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you can put your music in, or you can listen to digital radio if you desire. Now, I know I covered the dimensions of this vehicle earlier on, but there's an X2 in front of me and an F-Pace in front of that, and I can see the roof, over the roof of the X2, and see the roof of the F-Pace Jaguar in front of that. So this shows you how high up you are sitting. This does remind me a little bit, again, of the Ford Ranger. Now, the brakes in the car are quite soft. I think the weight of this vehicle is, you do feel the weight of the vehicle under braking and under the somewhat acceleration of this car. It is, you're going to get used to it. I feel like I'm cosplaying somebody, I don't want to say a farmer or somebody more commercial or outdoorsy, but having gone from driving a few electric cars in a row now to reviewing a diesel pickup truck, it is a change of pace. This is almost like what people wanted or want as well, actually. You got a small screen, does some features, not overloaded with everything being in the screen. We do have nice physical buttons, and we do have stalks coming out the centre column here for like your indicators and wipers, and that may sound simple, but things like that are going away or have went away in some models for 25, so it is great to see that. And yeah, you can leave things in autos, like your lights, just leave them in auto, leave the wipers on auto, and that part of it you're not having to worry about too much. Right, I'm just getting ready to go over another speed bump here. Slow down to 12 miles per hour. Yeah, you hardly feel it. I am conscious I have got a roof box and things on top of me there, but out with that, not too bad. Turning circle. The steering's got a nice weight to it, I will mention that. Like, I think it's not overly assisted, it's not very light, it's definitely not like a one finger kind of lightweight job like you can maybe do with some other vehicles. Now let's try a quick 3-point turn here while we're on this road. It does have a reverse camera, which trajectory lines are alright, but it's clear enough. It's just it's not as sharp as some of the other vehicles you get into that are more for the passengers, kind of private buyer people. But yeah, turning circle wasn't too bad for a big vehicle considering the length and size of this. But yeah, I think if you're looking for a pickup truck, I think the Isuzu sells itself. People that have them just keep buying more, and there's not too many options in the UK in terms of pickup trucks. We've got things like that Maxus electric, we do have the KGM Taurus, I believe. Now in terms of pickups, we don't have many options here in the UK. We do have the Ford Ranger and Volkswagen Amarok twins, we've got the Hilux, we've got, I don't think Navara still sells the Nissan, we've got the KGM Rexton, I think we've got a Maxus, and then obviously the Isuzu. Now I'm about 10 minutes away from the Isuzu dealership, so I do see quite a few in my neighbourhood. See a good few Ford Rangers, but yeah, like there's not too many options in this market, so if you are looking for a robust, reliable vehicle, it's probably something to consider for sure. So I just want to say thanks very much for watching this video on the Isuzu D-Max V-Cross. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. So I just want to say a special thanks to Eaglesham Garage, especially Lucy, for sorting me out with this car today. Go ahead and check them out. They've got a wide range of vehicles on offer, from Arctic trucks to conversions like this, regular Isuzus, Subarus, and even a Dodge as well they had in the showroom today, which was pretty fantastic to see. Anyway, as always, comment your thoughts in the car below, and make sure to check me out on Facebook, X, Instagram and TikTok. I will see you guys next video. Ciao.